the first problem on this video, we're actually just going to look at two story problems, and then I'm just going to give you a quick example, couple quick examples on how to use area to determine the area of weird looking shapes. That's going to be really difficult for you to draw, so you're just going to have to just follow along and look and see. But the first one is going to be our first cutout of the day, and it's going to talk about drawing something for your sister. So I'm actually going to type it out, and then I want you to work the problem, and then we'll pause the video, work the problem, and then when you're ready, start the video again and listen for my explanation. So Stephen drew a picture of his sister. It was 8 centimeters long and 5 centimeters wide. He wants to make a frame out of colored tape to put around the picture. How much tape will he need? Now hopefully you've already solved the problem, so you're ready to kind of listen to my explanation. The first thing I'm going to do, just because I'm very much a visual person, I'm going to just make a small drawing over here to think about the picture. Now if you want, you can draw a picture like what you think Stephen drew, and maybe his sister looks like this. And maybe she's got red hair or something. I don't know. But let's just say that's the picture he drew. And what we have to think about, that it is 8 centimeters long and 5 centimeters wide. So when we think about that, we also have to think about a frame. And we talk about put around the picture. So a frame goes around. So what kind of measurement are we looking for? Yep, we're looking for perimeter. So if we think about what perimeter is, and I'm just going to write it here, perimeter equals length plus width plus width. Now, what we have to do is we have to start punching in those numbers. Our length was, so let's just go here, our length was 8 plus 8. Our width is 5 plus 5, and we are going to get 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 8 is going to be 26. So he's going to need 26 centimeters. Now hopefully you got that right. Your next problem is about Mulan and carpeting her bedroom. So cut it out, paste it in your book, solve the problem, and then start the video and see if you got it correct and you understand my explanation. Hopefully you've worked this problem. Mulan wants new carpet in her bedroom. The room is 6 yards long by 5 yards wide. How many square yards of carpet will she need? Again, because I'm visual, the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to make a drawing. And I'm just going to put 6 by 5. Now, I'm looking for, and the hint right here, that they're going to tell you how many square yards. So you know that we're going to look for little squares. Now if we're looking for little squares, what measurement are we looking for? We're looking for area. So I'm going to use my formula for area. Area equals length times width. And now I'm going to punch in numbers. Area equals 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. And I'm working with yards and square yards. 30 square yards, or 30 yards squared. Either way that you write it will work. It's up to you what you're most comfortable with. It doesn't matter to me as long as you label it with something so that we know the difference between square yards and just centimeters, or square units and just normal units when we talk about measurement. The final section of today's math lesson is something that is just a little bit different, and unfortunately you're not going to be able to make the same drawing in your notebook as I'm going to make on mine. So don't even try, just pay attention to what I'm doing. Let's say for instance that you come across a shape, let's use purple, a shape that looks like this. And you want to try and figure out the area of this shape. Now unfortunately it's not a common shape. We can't just plug in our formula for area because it's not a quadrilateral. If you notice, it is completely unquadrilateral. It's more ovalish. Now there is a formula for oval, but this isn't a true oval. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do our best to kind of guesstimate or estimate, and we're going to use it doing a using a kind of a formula. What first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're going to try and make a rectangle out of it. So if we make a rectangle, we can determine the area or perimeter of this rectangle. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, this is 12 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 by 6. Now I can figure out the area of this, remember area is this right here, by multiplying these two together. 12 by 6 is going to be what? Let's just say it's 72. So that's 72 square, and I'm just going to put units squared. Now, to figure out the rest of it, what we can, as we're just kind of estimating, we can count the full 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So it's approximately another 34 units squared. So our approximate, okay, notice I didn't use the equal. I didn't use equal, I used the approximate area. Add those together is going to be 106 units squared. Now, when we do that, we can also do a similar thing with can't talk right now, with perimeter. And perimeter, all we have to do is we just start counting the counting as we go around. So this is 12, 6, so that's 18, 20, 12 plus 6 is going to be 18, plus 12 is 30, plus another 6 is 36. And now let's just start adding a couple more, and so it's going to be about 40 units. Now, if you notice, this was a little bit more, this one is a little bit closer, this one is more of an estimate. But you just kind of have to use your guide and use your eyes to try and figure that out. Alright, that's what we got. I hope you enjoyed your first lessons, your first lesson that was flipped. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, we should actually probably go back to our first question. Remember, the question was, how are perimeter and area similar, and how are they different? So why don't you take some time and just write at the bottom of your math journal, at the bottom of your page, try and answer those two questions. How are they similar? How are they same? All right, talk to you in a bit.